And welcome back to another HubSpot Updates. It is June. Who would believe it? It is freezing here in Australia at the moment, but it is June and we've got a bunch of new updates. Today I'm joined here with our community manager, Brie Ginman. G'day, Brie.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, thank you. I was saying hi to the camera.
Thank you. So today we're going to cover some pretty historic changes within the HubSpot ecosystem. There's one that has been floating around for such a long period of time and has been such a barrier for many organizations to actually take the leap into the HubSpot ecosystem. There was only a few sort of platforms that organizations could move to with. So we're talking about the HIPAA compliance, which is something that I guess for all of us in the partner community has just finally dropped. We're still waiting for data sovereignty for here in Australia, but the next best thing is HIPAA. So we'll talk about that a little bit in this catch up as well. There are a few tweaks to a couple of different hubs, a few different workarounds as well. Brie might even talk about some of the hacks that she's cooking up this month for you guys to check out. But let's get started.
Awesome, let's get into it.
What an intro. I'm gonna leave the HIPAA till the middle to keep you watching, but if you do want to skip down there, there's some chapters below so you can kind of skip to the one that you want to, or in the description, there's a list and you can just click on the number and it'll take you exactly to what that update is. But first and foremost, I'm gonna take you into the first update that I'm most excited about, mostly because it's in the sales pipeline. And I think that it's been a long time coming. I feel like we should have had it a little while ago, but we've got it in the portal and it's in beta at the moment. And it is require approvals for deals. Now, as a bit of caveat, this is for Sales Hub Enterprise customers as well. So for those that are on the seat model of HubSpot, if you're on the Pro and you've got a couple of you just have to pay an extra $40 per month per seat, roughly, or $50. There's an asterisk. Whatever it is at the time, I'm sure it's going to fluctuate within different regions. But if you are on Sales Hub Enterprise, you have now the ability to ensure that the deal can get approved prior to moving on to a specific stage. Brie?
Over to you, buddy.
Over to you, Brie. You can set up an approval process in a deal pipeline, and the deals must be reviewed and approved before progressing down the pipeline as well. Now, the one thing that you can do, and I'm sure we've got some stuff on the screen at the moment, you can have it set as a specific person to approve, collectively, everyone has to. So in the example you can probably see on the screen now, you can have an individual, so you can basically have one person that approves everything. You can have a group of people to approve and everyone must approve it. Or you can have a group of people and one of them can approve it as well. You'll see some of the notifications on the screen at the moment of the ones, what it looks like for a specific person to approve it, but also what it looks like for the salesperson awaiting that approval as well, and what that looks like on the deal card specifically. Okay, so from what we can see at the moment, it is just approval for when a deal hits a stage. The product team, if you are listening to this, please make it conditional based on certain criteria. For example, if a deal is a certain amount, for example, a high value, or maybe if it's based on a deal tag, that's probably a good one. Either. So whether the value of the deal is over, $500,000, then require approval at that certain stage. That would be cool.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
To me. Yeah.
Or if certain products, if in a deal property, custom deal property that has been selected, if certain products are selected, or if certain products aren't selected, or here I'm going to go even one further. If certain criteria are met based on maybe deal score, or maybe certain criteria on maybe a deal has been moving a bit too quickly through the pipeline, or maybe the deal has been going too slow. Something along those lines that I could really flex on that approval thing to be like, hey, I need to get someone from a manager standpoint or a seniority to go and have a look at the deal before it actually moves ahead as well.
Otherwise, you're just getting an influx of deals that you're like, that one's fine. That one's fine versus, I don't know, the meaty ones.
You can't get quotes pre-approved either, can you?
I don't think so.
No. I think there's a big thing there specifically, and as HubSpot is starting to move up market into larger corporate organizations, this is imperative there is a lot of different quoting tools out there, some of which that I know Dom's working with at the moment, that we have to do third-party sort of plugins in order to sort of go through that for that flexibility. But I really hope that over the next sort of 12 months, or even inbound in September, a release of some extra tools within that sort of ecosystem in the Sales Hub specifically are released.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Running on from the sales train, I'm going to get Brie to talk about the newest update in the Sales Hub as well.
So the one I want to talk about next is the custom lead properties, required lead properties, and lead form customization. If you guys use sales, you'll probably see you also have access to a prospecting space, which, short plug, we are talking about at the end of this month in our HubSpot user group. But basically there was a set list of lead properties that you could use within that prospecting space. And now you have the ability, like any other property, to add custom ones, to add them to a form, and also use conditional and required functionality to, affect how you're using the prospecting space.
So what you're saying is that I guess the lead object as a whole is now kind of within the ecosystem.
Yeah, it's officially there now. On the, if we compare it, we've got the new user object at the moment, but you can't really do anything with those properties. But now with the leads, it's a proper object. We have all the functionality we need to manipulate it and do what we need to do.
The next one we're going to talk about, and I think probably the most important one that I did mention at the start of the video, was the HIPAA. Where basically HubSpot's announcing the HIPAA support and sensitive data tools. So what does that mean? Well, I think probably more so in the medical space, that the encryption of specific data is super important, mainly because medical information is very sensitive. Then you've got personal identifiable information, or PII as well, that are in there as well. So HubSpot have really taken the front foot with not only HIPAA, but PII. So for those that don't know, HIPAA is a type of encryption of that specific data as well, just to help bolster the security. But then you've also got PII, which is kind of not necessarily as encrypted, but it's kind of blocked off so that not all eyes can see it. HIPAA is global. It's sort of a compliance global as well on how that kind of works through. And then the sensitive data tools pertain to what you as an organization, your privacy policy states what that is as well. Those that know. Those that don't know, I encourage you to research and think about as an organization what specific data is sensitive, and should we be showing to everybody within the organization or anyone that has access, or stuff that should be collected but not necessarily seen by a lot of people. Use your permission sets. I think that there's a lot of organizations out there that we see that have just super admins through the wazoo. The security center should pop up and say, please don't do that. But if this is a sort of a note today, spend today or the end of the week or whatever you might do in just really sort of solidifying your permission sets within the organization. As the business grows, you'll be gaining more and more information about your customers and prospects, etc. And what you want to try and do is the very best thing for your customers and prospects to ensure you're doing whatever you can to protect their data. And it sucks when you get a notification that some organization has been hacked or leaked or whatever it might be, and your data is now out there and now you're kind of on lists and things like that as well. So protect yourself. HubSpot's got a very great security system, but the only barrier to that are the human beings and their passwords and all of this sort of stuff. So doing the very best you can is very, very important. Breaking down on the screen now, I've got a little bit of a run through on how the HIPAA setup will work. Essentially, it's really, really quite easy. I think what you want to do is go ahead into the settings area, the privacy area. You want to go down to the HIPAA and then click down to the little box there where it says HIPAA compliance. As you click on that box, a few things will be changing in the back end of that, into making sure that you comply with the HIPAA encryption. What you'll see is if you go over to the properties area now, and then you click on the right-hand side and you create these properties, you can now click the tick box that says that this is HIPAA compliant. Now, when you go ahead and set up the settings as well, you can show which specific people can see that sensitive data and which can't see that sensitive data. This also goes to show with the sensitive data properties as well. It's only seen by the super administrator. So just be mindful that we can select, and again, I will put a caveat that this is coming out of beta, so the product will evolve through time. But at the moment, we can select, that HIPAA information and who can see that. From a sensitive data perspective, super administrators are the only ones that are able to see that at that present time. More information, we'll put a knowledge base article inside the description as well. We also had a bit of a run through. It might still be going, it might not. I can't see it at the present moment, but running through on how to get that set up. Please just remember this is only for enterprise. So if we've got marketing enterprise or an enterprise tool, you do get access to this as well. Anything under that, you do not get access. Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise.
I'll be surprised. But a really, really great addition to the tool set that HubSpot has. And I'm sure people that have been on the fence with moving from some other blue cloud platforms, wanting to come over to the orange sprocket, this could be the very thing that tips them over the edge.
Let's go, but they still have to get enterprise as well.
They do have to get enterprise, but data sovereignty would be also great. That would just be perfect for
the little cherry on top, so to speak, right?
Yeah. So that's HIPAA and the sensitive data tools. Next one for all you workflow geeks out there, Brie's going to take you through. If you're troubleshooting why something's not working and I always say where the marble falls and where it goes, this new one is for you. Over to you, Breezy.
When you go into a workflow, maybe you're checking the history to see where something went wrong. What it will do now is that you can actually open the actual workflow and it will highlight it in green or in red where things may have stopped or which path it went down. So you can really get into where things may go right and where things may go wrong as well. So basically, if an object takes a path, it's going to highlight that path down. I haven't gotten to play with it just yet, but from what I know, you go into the enrollment history and get to it from there. So a simple little add-on that I think will save a lot of time, especially if you're someone who likes to Christmas tree their workflows and it just goes on forever.
I think it's great. I think from a problem-solving standpoint, it kind of really does help out to see like what happened and how did it work. Naturally, I think for a seasoned pro, you could just basically work out how it works out and just be like, okay, cool. No one should be making Christmas trees, but ultimately there are some scenarios. I think for like operations, that one there specifically, like if you're running custom code as well and understanding what went through as well, like being able to sort of look at that. I think for standard workflows, it would make a lot of sense. But if you are using custom coded sort of workflows, what went through and how it sort of went through after running that code would help out.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think, just assisting in that front as well.
Just a nice little add-on, like a little
cherry.
Yeah. That's a theme apparently.
Another little tiny cherry on top, we are now getting unique sounds for every notification. So in the past, you just got that bell, everyone knows that noise. Ding, everyone knows what it sounds like inside HubSpot as well. So now you're able to customize each of the sounds based on the type of notification that it is. Very helpful for those that have their sound on at 10 and they know what's going on and it just helps you keep across it. We are waiting for custom sounds because I will be recording different types of sounds with my voice and uploading it and then making it just scream all around the office. But at the moment, we've now got unique sounds for every notification on the screen. I'll quickly show you how to get that set up as well, but that is now live in public beta. Cool. Brie, did you want to go over a new AI development in the files area?
Yes, this is actually super unexpected. And when I was reading through this, I was just thinking about use case. You're putting together a blog or an email and you're searching to find your file, but when you're in HubSpot, you have to search for the exact file name in order to find it. If you have been using HubSpot for a while, you know how frustrating that can be when you have just so many photos and just things that have collated
especially
over time,
when
right?
your naming convention is poor.
Don't call me out like
Download
that.
_1 V2 V3
Yeah,
V4.
that's me.
Yeah.
So this was made just for me. Anyway, so they've called this Files AI Data Extraction, and basically what it does is it looks at all the files within your HubSpot, whether that's files that are used within email or any content creation. So we're talking photos, we're talking videos, probably GIFs as well, I'm sure. And what it will actually do is read the data on that file and extract important information that can help you maybe describe that file. So things like transcripts as well, descriptions, tags, what might be inside that image. Just super helpful overall. And it's just gonna make content creation a lot faster and easier because things are more findable and searchable.
Now, the navigation update, love it or hate it. A lot of people don't
You
like
don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice. We're moving it over, but that should all be moved over to the left-hand side now. The new navigation, having used HubSpot for a long period of time, I think that it will get better.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got no choice, but yeah, there it is. One thing that I really do like is that navigation bookmarks, which should be now actually at the very top there. So you can now bookmark the ones that you use most often. Bookmarks is now live. You can now bookmark all of them and keep them at the very top there. And then you could quickly get to where you need to go without having to do what we do every single day and scroll and look and look and look and look and look. And then after about sort of a minute, then you find it and you're like, and then you have a chat around the office on why is it there, and then you go back to work and then you do
you repeat it.
You do that every 3 days.
Yeah.
Pretty much. For our very last one this month, just a reminder, we've got all of the updates in the description below if you want to click that through. Now, if you're trying to figure out why someone can't see something in a portal and others can, because you're like, who's got access to permissions and whatnot, this one's for you, Giza.
Thank you. Take it away.
Take it away.
So there's kind of two parts to this. The first one is view record access. So if you're on a contact record or a deal record, you're now able to see all the users that have access to that record. So if someone's name isn't on there, you're kind of able to quickly decipher like, oh, well, you don't have access to this. And then you think, let's figure out why you don't have access to this. And then you can go into a new tool, which is compare access. Basically, you can put yourself up there with another user and compare your access and permissions to each other. So you can figure out exactly where it might be differentiated is a good word for it. I think we run into this all the time sometimes where we're like, oh, I don't know why you don't have access. You should have access. So
the table in the users area is really good because you can drop down the user that has it and set down the user that doesn't. And then you can remove the shared permissions and it will just show you the difference.
Good.
It's really good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so there's a few different options there as well for you to use. Awesome. Okay, well that wraps up this month. Just a reminder, we have got our HubSpot user group free to attend. The link will be in the description below.
It will.
There should also be a little link at the top there to click through. If you're looking to use the prospecting space, this one is for you. We'll run you through from start to finish. If you've got any comments, questions, or feedback, we're always welcome. Feel free to hit us up in the description below or hit us up at weare@nbh.co. Thanks again, Brie, for this month.
Thank you, Travi.
And I will see you next month with a whole bunch of new updates and hopefully see you at the HubSpot user group.
Awesome. Bye, guys.
Catch you guys. Bye.